Hello everybody, it is Jaxon here, and I promise I'll make a video about this. So, Nate Erskine-Smith lost the nomination race for the Scarborough Southwest provincial by-election by 19 votes. Which allegedly could have been rigged because there were, I believe, 1,800 cancelled memberships, but let's just watch the footage of him complaining about it here. So let's get in. I want to dive in real quick. I'm not going to make this video too long, but so yeah, basically there were 4 or 5 other candidates. Nate Erskine-Smith blamed it on because Scarborough Southwest is a pretty big Bengali population, and they written the nomination papers in Bengali. And he was the only white man, well, the only white person in the nomination race. So apparently, this is what he thinks. Whether it's true or not, that's the reason why. Despite him being left-wing, so you wouldn't think that way, but yeah, he hates Mark Carney, so I'll show you that about Mark Carney endorsing him also, but let's dive the hell into this.
The final results, like, you don't...
It's fair for me to jump off the couch, but I really have to talk to the team in detail, get advice from the team as to what they saw happen there. I've spoken to a few scrutineers already who said they've never seen anything like it, and it's unreal what happened in there. So I've
never seen anything like it.
I need to do a full debrief with the team.
Super vague.
I wasn't in the room. I was shaking hands and
so all they told you was we've never seen anything like it, and didn't tell you.
They said they've never seen anything like it. There were, at one table, it was 50% of the people that had ID issues, saying they lost driver's license, they just moved in the area. So look, I
also lost driver's license because
I got no idea.
Basically there wasn't any IDs, so technically you could just lie, put your address, like you could put a Domino's location essentially in it, they would believe it. But so I believe yeah, the winner's name was Erskine-Smith. He owns Domino's franchises. But yeah, so that's Mario's video. I don't know if I actually showed you all of it. I can't really hear it, but here's the endorsement, guys.
On the ground, really you can have the ideas, you can have the hard work, but also to be really on the ground, with your constituents.
Each other, you know, Nate Erskine-Smith just staring into him, not smiling. You know, kind of like Marilyn Gladu the other day. I might actually show you guys that also.
You can have the ideas, you can have the hard work, but also to be really on the ground, with your constituents, knowing what's going on, what their needs are, and working together. And you know, it hurts in some respects you're going, but I understand it because you're going to be more on the ground. You know, working at the provincial level, working for the folks, I hope, in Scarborough, you know, in healthcare and education, making lives better, helping to grow that economy, and we'll be right there alongside. You can have the ideas, you can have the hard work, but also to be...
Nate Erskine-Smith just staring there like I don't know. Then Mark Carney's just saying stuff. Yeah, if anything, I think there's a leadership issue with... Yeah, I think there's essentially a leadership issue with, the, Liberals, with Mark Carney, because, Stephen Gilbert also said the oil stuff has been worse than even under Harper. Now, I'm not saying they'll cross because they might have bad chances of being re-elected, but, anywho, so, I don't know if they would or not, but I say Nate Erskine-Smith would still run for the federal Liberal leader, not federal, Ontario Liberal leadership, sorry. But, anywho, so did I show you guys all of that? Yeah, so, I believe... I forget the margin. Yeah, so Wyatt Claypool has... Remember the OLP deleted 1,800 memberships. I think I said 1,800. And that seemed to be moved by Navdeep Bains, which is a corrupt guy running for the Ontario Liberal leadership. But screw that, guys. We need to look into Marilyn Gladu and see what she said the other day. Sorry guys, I'm always so unprepared. So this is her the other day. She looks like she's faking it. Can't even keep a straight face. Her body's shaking.
I'm proud to be part of a government that's committed to defending Canadian trade and ensuring our businesses are not overly reliant on any single market. By opening doors for exporters and supporting small businesses to reach customers around the world, we're strengthening our economy and creating more opportunities in my riding of Sarnia, Lambton, Bikeshwanong, and across the country. Could the Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State for Small Business and Tourism update this House on the historic progress we've made to diversify Canadian trade?
Yeah, and she really don't mean it. You just had to look. I mean, can we find a comparison of back when she was a Conservative MP? I'm actually gonna try and find it just to see if her mood is different. Be honest, I remember her speaking when she was a Conservative MP, but not like fully, I would assume. But shite. Yeah, this was about when she was elected, so let's just go here. Now this isn't in the House, but like.
Hi, MP Marilyn Gladu here, getting increasingly concerned about the state of our freedoms in Canada. Now let's talk about Parks Canada deciding that a Christian singer can't use the venue. Taxpayers of all kinds, including Christians, pay to be able to use all the public property. And for them to say that it was because of public safety is nonsense. And for them to say that it was to uphold their diversity and inclusion policy. How do you
see, like, she's a big anti-DEI person. Like, how is this woman liberal now? I mean, she still has these same values. She still has conservative values also. She was also a big social conservative. In fact, she probably was one of the most right-wing conservative MPs.
An inclusion policy by excluding the Christians. So I
agree with her on that, right? I agree with her on that. From last year, roughly.
That's a huge concern for me. The comments from the Montreal mayor saying they would not allow this concert to go forward. Whatever happened to freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression in this country? It is not for anyone to determine within the bounds of the law, as long as it's not hate speech, that people can't speak. And so I'm increasingly concerned about municipalities and all levels of government that decide they're going to pick and choose who gets freedom, and it's oppression for everybody else. I don't think that's right.
Okay, so you could tell a big difference. Alright, so guys, I think I'm going to wrap up my video. I hope you all have a great day. And I'll give you more updates on Nate Erskine-Smith as the time goes by, but hope you all have a great day. God bless and bye.